quiet afternoon in a San Francisco public library. October 1st, 2013. A young man sits at his laptop, just another tech worker in a city full of them. Suddenly, a couple near him starts arguing loudly, a lover's quarrel getting out of hand. As he turns to look, federal agents swarm in. Within seconds, they've grabbed his laptop before he can hit a key. The man is Ross Ulbricht, and he's just been caught running the largest digital black market in history, the Silkroad. Back in 2011, this 26-year-old physics graduate launched a website that would forever change the landscape of digital commerce. Armed with nothing but a laptop and libertarian ideals, Ross Ulbricht created what would become the world's most notorious online marketplace. Within 2 years, his platform would move billions in illegal goods, attract the attention of law enforcement worldwide, and ultimately land its creator behind bars for life. But how did this good guy from Texas end up as the world's most wanted digital crime lord? Ross Ulbricht's story begins far from the dark corners of the internet. Instead, it starts in Austin, Texas, inside a middle-class family with big dreams. He wasn't your typical future criminal mastermind. Honor student, full academic scholarship to study physics. The kind of kid who makes parents proud. By 2010, he had both a bachelor's in physics and a master's in materials science. Cornell University was even offering him a shot at a PhD program. But something changed during his college years. Between experiments and research papers, Ulbricht discovered libertarian philosophy. He became fascinated by the ideas of individual freedom and limited government intervention. Not just casual interest, he dove deep into the works of Ludwig von Mises, the Austrian economist whose theories championed absolute free markets and minimal government intervention. Ulbricht didn't just read these ideas, he absorbed them. They transformed his worldview. He started attending libertarian club meetings, campaigned for Ron Paul, and spent countless hours discussing economic theory. After graduation, instead of pursuing that Cornell PhD, Ulbricht chose a different path. He moved back to Austin and started a used book business called Good Wagon Books. The company collected unwanted books and sold them on eBay, with 10% of earnings going to charity. A modest start for someone with his credentials, but Ulbricht had bigger plans brewing. Enter Bitcoin. The year was 2010, and this new digital currency promised something revolutionary: completely anonymous financial transactions. Around the same time, Ulbricht discovered Tor, a network that lets users browse the internet without being tracked. In his mind, these technologies weren't just tools, they were keys to a new kind of freedom. That's when the light bulb above his head turned on. He saw an opportunity to create something unprecedented, a truly free market, beyond government control. In January 2011, a mysterious user called Altoid began posting on various online forums about a revolutionary new website called Silkroad. It was kind of like an anonymous Amazon.com, the posts read. What nobody knew at the time was that Altoid was Ulbricht himself, attempting to drum up interest in his creation. The site operated on a simple principle: connect buyers and sellers anonymously. Tor provided anonymity. Bitcoin handled payments. A feedback system like eBay's ensured quality. Silkroad's inventory? Oh well, that's where things got interesting. That was what made Silkroad different from other e-commerce platforms. Because behind the seemingly innocent name lurked a digital bazaar of the forbidden. Within months, Silkroad's catalog had expanded to include things you'd never find on eBay or Amazon. The site's homepage displayed categories that read like a DEA agent's book: cannabis, psychedelics, stimulants, ecstasy, opioids. Each category contained thousands of listings, complete with professional product photos and detailed descriptions. Vendors competed like any other e-commerce site, but they were selling pure Colombian cocaine, Afghan heroin, and designer psychedelics with names like Mario Invincibility Star XTC. The selection was staggering. Looking for premium hash? Choose between Caramello or Moroccan Gold. Want pharmaceutical-grade pills? Take your pick of OxyContin, Xanax, or fentanyl. Every product had customer reviews discussing purity, delivery speed, and stealth packaging. It was Yelp meets Breaking Bad. But drugs weren't the whole story. Need fake IDs? Silkroad had vendors offering perfect replicas of any government document. Want someone's social media hacked? Plenty of cybercriminals offered their services. Counterfeit cash, stolen credit cards, hacking tools. If it was illegal, chances are you could find it on Silkroad. Just place your order with Bitcoin. But behind all of this, the site had a darker toll. Prosecutors linked at least 6 overdose deaths to drugs purchased on Silkroad. Among them, a 16-year-old boy who died from synthetic LSD, a 27-year-old Microsoft employee found dead at his computer with the Silkroad site still open, and a 25-year-old who overdosed on heroin bought from the platform. Sure, Ulbricht, now operating under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, didn't sell anything directly. Instead, he created and maintained the platform, taking a commission from each sale. He saw himself not as a drug kingpin, but as a facilitator of free trade, an advocate for personal choice and privacy. Which is true, but questionable. By mid-2012, Silkroad was processing millions in sales daily. The site had over 100,000 registered users and was processing transactions worth millions of dollars daily. Ulbricht's commission-based income had grown to more than $13 million in Bitcoin. Remember that small-time used bookseller? He now controlled a platform moving billions in illegal goods. The site's success stemmed from its sophisticated approach to security and customer service. Ulbricht created a complete underground ecosystem. Vendors received detailed guides on vacuum-sealing drugs to evade detection. A dispute resolution system protected buyers from scams. The community enforced strict quality standards. It was Amazon's customer service philosophy applied to illegal drugs. The site had its own staff, including administrators, moderators, and even a head of marketing. Ulbricht's creation had grown beyond anything he could have imagined. But success brought unwanted attention. Law enforcement agencies worldwide began taking notice of this digital drug bazaar. The hunt for Dread Pirate Roberts was on. In July 2013, the FBI's breakthrough came from an unlikely source, that early forum post by Altoid. In one message, recruiting programmers for his Bitcoin startup, Altoid made a crucial mistake. He listed his email address, russelbricht@gmail.com. This single slip-up gave investigators their first real lead. This digital breadcrumb led investigators to San Francisco. They tracked Ulbricht's online activities to a local cafe, then to his apartment, and finally to that public library. On October 1st, 2013, as Ulbricht sat working on his laptop in the library's science fiction section, federal agents moved in. To prevent him from encrypting or deleting evidence, 2 agents staged a lover's quarrel nearby as a distraction. When Ulbricht's attention turned to the commotion, other agents seized his laptop, caught in the act of logging into Silkroad as administrator. The arrest made international headlines. The FBI had caught the mastermind behind what they called the most sophisticated and extensive criminal marketplace on the internet. The laptop contained a treasure trove of evidence. His laptop contained everything: Bitcoin wallets, chat logs, a personal journal, and accounting spreadsheets detailing the site's massive operation. In February 2015, After a dramatic 3-week trial, Ulbricht was convicted on all 7 counts: trafficking drugs on the internet, running a continuing criminal enterprise, conspiracy to commit money laundering, computer hacking, and more. But here's the thing. If you read between lines, he was never charged for causing physical harm or injury, and no specific victim was identified during the trial. He wasn't being convicted for personally selling drugs, distributing hacking tools, or creating fake IDs, nor for laundering money. Instead, he was held accountable for the actions of Silkroad users and what they posted on the platform. Yet, the sentence was harsh: 2 life terms plus 40 years, without the possibility of parole. And this is the part that, as entrepreneurs, makes you think, did he deserve it? Supporters argued it was excessive for a first-time, non-violent offender. They pointed out that many convicted drug traffickers receive far lighter sentences. Even former President Donald Trump reportedly considered clemency for Ulbricht. A website, freeross.org, advocates for his release. The site argues that holding a platform creator responsible for users' actions sets a dangerous precedent. Today, Ross Ulbricht, the good guy who once donated profits to charity, remains behind bars, sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison for creating a website. The same technology skills and entrepreneurial spirit that earned him academic scholarships ultimately led to his downfall. His platform generated millions in profits, but also allegedly contributed to multiple overdose deaths. He championed individual freedom, but ended up losing his own. It's quite an irony, isn't it? So, what do you think? Was Ross Ulbricht a dangerous criminal who deserved his fate, or a misguided idealist who pushed technology too far? Should website creators be held responsible for their users' actions? Where do we draw the line between innovation and facilitation of crime? Anyway, somewhere in a maximum security prison, locked in an 8-by-10-foot cell, continues to wonder if his experiment in freedom was worth the price. Thank you all for watching. Stay informed and unplug from the Matrix. This was Rogue Invest.